Like sometimes when we say the Lord provides, we think He provides in the way that we want. But sometimes we have to realize that yes, God gives us everything we need, but it might not be necessarily in the form that we want.
that we think we need.
Exactly. Like sometimes we might need a house, and God will put us in a forest with an axe. He blessed. He said, "I've placed you in the right environment, and I've gifted you everything you need. I've gifted you the knowledge. I've gifted you the tools that you need, and I've placed you in an environment to excel. But faith without works is dead." And so it's up for
God didn't
us.
give Noah the ark.
Exactly. He gave him the idea.
Come on
He
now.
gave him the measurements, and he said to do it. And so we have to be able to do the work. And I'm glad you brought up Noah, because I feel like sometimes God, especially as creatives, God might bless you with an idea that might not make sense in the moment. Because maybe he's wanting to do something in you that's never been done in the world. Before Noah built an ark, it never rained before. And so God was doing a new thing that the world hasn't seen before. And it probably wasn't easy for Noah. You know, he probably had people like laughing at him, thinking he was crazy. I couldn't imagine what the talks were like with his wife or his family. Like, hear me out. I know this sounds crazy.
Yeah, just hear me
But
out.
I think God wants us to basically build a big boat because water is about to come down from the
He about
sky.
to flood the earth. Like,
Right. And we need to gather every single animal, 2 of every single animal. I can't imagine, because not only did he have to build the boat, he had to gather the animals. And so it's just like there's a lot of work that had to have been done. But also obedience wasn't just a one decision, it was a daily decision. Because I forgot how many months, but it didn't take, Noah didn't build the ark overnight. It took months. So it took months of obedience, months of constantly walking in faith, not knowing what's about to happen, people talking about you and saying stuff, but still just trusting in the word that you heard from the Lord. And so knowing that we have everything that we need. And so I truly lack nothing. And so even for my life, I'm just praying like, Lord, what are things that I'm praying for you to come through on, but you've already blessed me with the things that I need. Like if it's financial provision, you've blessed me with the camera, you know, and the gift of being a creative. And so how can I put that to good use?
We have this mindset that we need the big lights.
Yeah,
we
or
need
the fancy
the
camera.
We need just good lighting or an aesthetically pleasing environment. Like, oh, my room doesn't look, you know, how this TikTok girlie's room looks, so I'm not gonna make the content. But it's just like you have everything you need,
Right.
and you were saying to make it before you make it right.
Yeah.
And that really blessed me because I was the type of person who had so many ideas, but I was just insecure in my environment and what I had, and not realizing that God could multiply what I had if I just used what I had, and you know, just utilize what He gave me. And then also you were saying like it's you're saying creativity thrives with limitation. You don't need the latest gadgets to create.
Right.
And then we were saying it's not the tool, it's the person behind the tool that gives it significance.
Right.
Which went into how it's not the cross.
Right. It's the
It
person
was
on the
the
cross.
person on the
Yes.
cross. Because
Yes.
so many people got crucified before Jesus.
Exactly.
And many people got crucified after Jesus.
Peter being one of them.
Peter
He
got
crucified upside down.
Yeah. And then, but it's like,
only one was significant.
only one was significant.
Exactly.
Like,
But like to your point, I was trying to look this up. I forgot where. I believe it was in Matthew where it was talking about just the parable of the sower. Not the sower, of the servants with the talents. The parable of the talents. Oh, Matthew 25. Oh my gosh. The man who had received 5 talents approached, presented 5 more talents, and said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I've earned 5 more talents." His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over the few things. I will put you in charge of many more things. Share your master's joy." The man with 2 talents also approached. He said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I've earned 2 more talents." His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over the few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy. The man who had received 1 talent also approached and said, Master, I know you. You're a harsh man, reaping where you haven't sown and gathering where you haven't scattered seed. So I was afraid and went off and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours. His master replied to him, You evil, lazy servant. If you knew I reap where I haven't sown and gather where I haven't scattered, then you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and I would have received my money back with interest on my return. So take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has more will be given, and he will have more than enough. But from the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. And throw this good-for-nothing servant into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing. And so, one thing that I really got from this was, what are we doing with our talents? When it came to like as creatives, most of the most legendary artists, like one of my favorite artists of all time, Van Gogh and Basquiat, some of their most expensive work, they weren't famous when they painted it. Like Van Gogh died poor. He didn't become this legendary artist until after his death. And so that means they didn't have the resources. Van Gogh didn't have the most lavish and expensive art supplies. He used what he had. And so sometimes, whether it's dancing, or you feel like you need a studio, or the latest dance clothes or whatever, or if it's a podcast or a YouTube channel where you feel like you need this expensive camera or these expensive mics or whatever it is God is calling you to do, you have what you have. And how are you maximizing the talent? I think that's no pun intended, but like the talent He's blessed you with and placed inside of your life, how are you maximizing that to the fullest with what you have?